Hi all, I'm Jonathan Chanagakuri. I'm an undergraduate of the Informatics Institute of Technology. My bearing ID is 2017-131. So today my intention is to explain you all about concurrency, and we'll be taking one of the examples, which is the dining philosopher's problem. So let's start off with the presentation today. As you can see in the first slide, concurrency is a synchronized collection of tasks processed at the same time. So which means if you take I/O transfers and computations. In computer science, we say concurrency is simply performing several tasks at once. Mainly, it's being used for machine and peripheral use as per computer science. So, allowing the user to perform tasks simultaneously. How it is done? It's actually done by the base of a key task, which is controlling resource usage and perform synchronized operations, such as semaphore. So, for concurrency systems, the real world, you can take examples such as internet, operating systems, peripherals, and schedulers. So, as you can see in slide, I have shown an illustration of how the resource is controlled, and while one operation is handled, how that operation is holding and signaling the other operation to perform simultaneously, and then once that operation is over, it will be automatically switching to the other operation to perform the task. So apart from the dining philosopher's problem, there are several use cases or examples that we can take. Readers writer's problem, consumer producer's problem, dining philosopher's problem. Let's get to the other slide. So dining philosopher's problem. If you take dining philosopher's problem, it's actually there are a few conditions that you have to consider in the illustration. So there are 5 philosophers, and on the table there is only one noodle bowl, and there are 5 chopsticks. In this occasion, we say eating, thinking, and there is one condition. So eating is performing the task, and thinking is waiting in the queue. So the condition is every philosopher should have 2 chopsticks. Since there are 5 philosophers, then they should have 10 chopsticks. So as you can see, if all the philosophers are trying to get the minimum condition of 2 chopsticks, they cannot actually access it. So that kind of scenario is depicted as the deadlock. So deadlock is specific condition when 2 or more processors are each waiting for another to release a resource. So how can we overcome with this problem? In the next slide, you can see solution of dining philosopher's problem. The solution of the dining philosopher's problem is to use a semaphore to represent a chopstick. A chopstick can be picked up by executing a wait hold operation on the semaphore or released by executing a signal from semaphore. And on the next slide, what we can do is we can assign IDs for the chopsticks. So if you take philosophers, and if you assign philosophers some random IDs, let's say it's A, B, C, D, E, according to the philosophers. So A philosopher, and then we will be assigning IDs for the chopsticks as well as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the future reference, we will be programming this. So that's why I have assigned from 0 to 4 in order to keep the data records in an array. So the first philosopher is A. So for the first philosopher to eat, we will be assigning the 2 chopsticks to eat. So which is 4 and 0. So the second philosopher is B. He will be accessing the 1 and the 0. So likewise, will be proceed with a pattern of assigning chopsticks ID to the philosopher's ID. So lock in the appropriate chopsticks for philosophers in order to prevent deadlocks. That's how you overcome the situation. This is the pseudocode how you can give the chopsticks with the condition to the philosophers, and the implementation of the dining philosopher's problem, an ID is assigning for each chopstick. So the repeatedly assigning of the chopsticks happens here to philosophers until all them satisfy their hunger. So explaining the code, we will be applying a semaphore. Semaphore is waiting and signaling until the two chopsticks are, according to the scenario, until the two chopsticks are not assigned for the philosophers. So we will be waiting until the chopstick is assigned to the philosopher. Then the other chopstick will be assigned to the philosopher. So the minimum chopstick count, which will be 2, is assigned for the philosopher, and then the philosopher will be eating. So by the signal of completing the condition, validating the condition, he can eat. Afterwards, the philosophers can proceed into the thinking state. So these are the references that I use to do the presentation, and all the contents are respectively based on the two references.